I'm really worried for Will because I don't know what's going on. We haven't called each other husband and wife in a long time.
Jada Pinkett Smith revealed she and Will Smith had been secretly separated since 2016. Then, years later, she quietly moved back into his house, and according to people close to the couple, Will welcomed her back without hesitation. That single detail has reignited one question the internet can't seem to stop asking. Is Jada completely in control of this relationship? Because if you look at it from the outside, it almost feels like the rules only change when Jada decides they should. She announces they're separated. She says they haven't called each other husband and wife in years. She explains why they chose to live apart.
We haven't called each other husband and wife in a long time.
So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now, y'all have been...
Then, just when everyone thinks the marriage is finally over, reports come out saying she's moved back in, they're happy again, and Will is right there beside her like nothing ever happened. In this video, we're going to break down why so many fans believe Jada is the one calling the shots, why Will seems willing to accept every new version of their relationship, and whether the truth is actually more complicated than people think. But here's where the internet is completely divided. Some people see a woman who knows exactly what she wants and refuses to apologize for living life on her own terms. Others see a man who's slowly lost control of his own marriage, constantly adjusting his life around someone who seems to make all the biggest decisions. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why this isn't really a story about moving back into a house. It's a story about who really holds the power inside one of Hollywood's most talked about marriages. Now let's be honest, if this happened to almost anyone else, people would probably think it was strange. Imagine telling the world you've been separated from your spouse for 7 years. Then, without making a big announcement, you quietly move back into the same house. No remarriage, no public reconciliation, no we worked everything out, just I'm back. That's basically what happened here. According to people close to the couple, Jada quietly moved back in with Will about 2 years ago. The source said they're happy, deeply in love, and committed to supporting each other. On paper, that sounds like a happy ending. But online, people weren't celebrating, they were asking questions. One fan summed up the mood in just 6 words. May that kind of love never find me. Ouch. Another person didn't hold back either. God damn Will. Have some self-respect. And just like that, the debate started all over again. Because for a lot of people, this isn't just about whether Will and Jada love each other. It's about who seems to have the upper hand. Think about the timeline. Jada revealed the separation. Jada explained the entanglement. Jada wrote the memoir. Jada gave the interviews. Jada explained why they stayed married. And now, the news that she's moved back in is once again centered around her decision. That's why one comment kept popping up everywhere. Jada Pinkett Smith is the only bullet Tupac managed to dodge. Now obviously that's a joke, but it tells you how a lot of people online see this relationship. They believe Will keeps sacrificing pieces of himself while Jada continues living exactly how she wants. Whether that's fair or not, that's become the public perception. Then another fan offered a much more serious opinion. In my opinion, he's a pretty typical victim of narcissistic abuse. Being treated like garbage by your partner does weird things to your brain. Now, it's important to be careful with comments like that. Narcissistic abuse is a serious psychological term, and none of us can diagnose someone's relationship from the outside. We don't know what happens behind closed doors, but what that comment shows is how some fans interpret Will's behavior. They don't see weakness, they see someone who keeps putting another person's needs ahead of his own. Whether that's love, loyalty, or something else entirely, that's the question people can't stop asking. And the more this marriage changes, the more people wonder whether Will is making these decisions or simply accepting the ones Jada already made. Now here's the part that makes this relationship even harder to understand. Because while the internet keeps saying Jada is the one in control, Will has actually been telling people for years that this is exactly how he wanted his marriage to work. Think back to what he said years before all these scandals happened.
Divorce is not an option. We're gonna be together. So we're gonna figure out how to be happy.
Will wasn't against divorce because of Jada. He was against divorce because of himself. After his first marriage to Cherie Zampino ended, He admitted it completely broke him. He once said divorce felt like personal failure. In another interview, he even joked that there were only two ways his marriage to Jada would end. Either they'd stay together until death, or he'd be dead. At the time, people thought he was being romantic. Looking back now, those words hit very differently, because they explain why, no matter what happened, walking away was never really an option in Will's mind. And Jada wasn't saying anything different. She also admitted she made herself a promise that there would never be a reason for them to divorce. Not because everything would always be perfect, but because they believed they'd work through whatever came their way. That's why this relationship confuses so many people. Most couples hit a breaking point and ask, should we end this? Will and Jada seem to ask, how do we keep going? Those are two completely different mindsets, but here's where fans started pushing back. One person wrote, "Why these two people seem so opposed to divorce is beyond me. Divorce, specifically my mum divorcing my dad, was the best thing that happened to my childhood. Whatever, at least stop dragging other people into it." That's actually an interesting perspective, because not everyone believes staying together is automatically the right decision. Sometimes leaving is healthier, sometimes divorce protects everyone involved. And that's why some people struggle to understand why Will and Jada keep finding their way back to each other. Then another fan pointed out something that most people forget. He's very against divorce. His first wife had to really fight for one even though he was totally checked out. He said he sees it as failure. That's their thing. They will never get one unless she demands one. Now that comment lines up with something Will has admitted himself. Divorce isn't just paperwork to him. It's emotional, it's personal, it's something he associates with failing the people he loves. So when people say, why doesn't he just leave? The answer might be, because in Will's mind, leaving would mean admitting he failed at the one thing he promised himself would never happen again. Then something unexpected happened. After Jada spent months telling the world they had been living separate lives, reports suddenly revealed she'd quietly moved back in with Will almost 2 years earlier. No dramatic reconciliation, no big Hollywood announcement. She simply came back, and according to people close to the couple, everything felt normal. They attended Paris Fashion Week together to support Jaden. They spent the 4th of July together in Philadelphia. Family members described them as happy, supportive, steady, almost like they'd quietly found a new version of marriage that only the two of them understand. But of course, the internet saw something else. A lot of people didn't see reconciliation. They saw confirmation that Jada moves the relationship whenever she wants. She leaves, she returns, she changes the rules, and Will adjusts. Whether that's actually true, only the two of them know. Because here's something worth remembering. Almost everything we know about this marriage comes from interviews, memoirs, sources close to the family. None of us are sitting in their living room. None of us know the conversations that happen when the cameras disappear. Maybe Will genuinely agrees with every decision they've made. Maybe Jada does too. Or maybe they're simply two people trying to make an unconventional relationship work in front of millions of strangers who expect conventional answers. Whatever the truth is, one thing has become impossible to ignore. Every time people think this marriage is finally over, another chapter begins. And every new chapter leaves the internet asking the exact same question all over again. Is Will choosing this life? Or has he become so committed to never letting go that he'll accept almost any version of the relationship just to keep Jada by his side? At the end of the day, maybe the biggest mistake people make is assuming this marriage works like a normal marriage. It doesn't. It probably never has. That's why every few years the internet thinks it's finally figured Will and Jada out, only for them to completely change the story again. First, they were the perfect Hollywood couple. Then they admitted they were struggling. Then they redefined marriage. Then came the entanglement. Then Jada revealed they'd secretly been separated since 2016. Now, they're reportedly living together again. If you're confused, you're definitely not the only one. But here's the thing. Whether you believe Jada controls Will, or whether you believe Will is making these choices willingly, the only two people who truly know what happens inside that marriage are Will and Jada. Everyone else is just trying to connect the dots. That hasn't stopped fans from having strong opinions, though. One comment probably summed up the frustration better than anything else. "May that kind of love never find me." That's harsh, but it got thousands of people agreeing with it, because for many fans, this relationship stopped looking romantic a long time ago. Instead, it looks exhausting. Another fan simply said, "God damn, Will, have some self-respect." Again, people aren't just criticizing the marriage anymore. They're questioning Will's decisions. They're asking why one of the most successful men in Hollywood keeps accepting a relationship that so many people believe has damaged his reputation. Then another comment made me stop scrolling. Jada Pinkett Smith is the only bullet Tupac managed to dodge. Now obviously, that's internet humor, but behind the joke is a serious point. A lot of people believe anyone who gets emotionally involved with Jada eventually ends up carrying a heavy emotional burden. Whether that's true, that's something only the people involved could answer. Then came probably the strongest comment of them all. In my opinion, he's a pretty typical victim of narcissistic abuse. Being treated like garbage by your partner does weird things to your brain. Now let's be fair here. That's one fan's opinion. It's not something we can confirm. Nobody watching this video can diagnose someone else's relationship, but comments like that show how dramatically public opinion has shifted. Years ago, people saw Will as the leader in this marriage. Today, many fans see him as the one constantly reacting while Jada decides where the relationship goes next. And maybe that's why every new update feels so shocking, because according to recent reports, Jada didn't just come back for a visit. She quietly moved back into Will's home almost 2 years ago. The source says they're happy, they're deeply in love, they're supporting each other, they're spending time with their children, they're showing up together in Paris, they're celebrating holidays together. From their perspective, things seem peaceful, but online, people aren't asking whether they're happy. They're asking something completely different. Who decided this? Did Will ask Jada to come back? Or did Jada decide the timing was right? We honestly don't know, and that's probably why this story never ends. Because every major turning point seems to be announced through Jada's perspective. The separation, the memoir, the interviews, the explanation of their marriage. Now even the reunion. That naturally leads some people to believe she's steering the relationship while Will simply adapts. Whether that's true or not, the perception is already out there, and in Hollywood, perception often becomes reality. Maybe that's unfair. Maybe Will has quietly agreed with every single decision behind closed doors. Maybe the marriage works exactly the way both of them want it to. That's entirely possible. But if there's one thing we've learned over the last decade, it's that this relationship doesn't follow anybody else's rules. Love it or hate it, Will and Jada have created a marriage that makes sense to them, even if it confuses everyone watching from the outside. The real question isn't whether Jada is totally in control. The real question is, has Will willingly handed her that control? Because in his mind, keeping the relationship alive has always mattered more than proving a point. Because if that's true, then maybe the biggest decision in this marriage wasn't made by Jada at all. Maybe it was made years ago. The moment Will decided that divorce would never be an option. And if you remove the option to leave, you automatically give every disagreement a completely different ending. Maybe that's why, after every scandal, after every headline, after every public embarrassment, the story somehow circles back to the exact same place. Will is still there, Jada is back, and the rest of the world is still trying to figure out who is really making the decisions.